Sentinels lost to EG? What? How did that happen? I hear you cry. Well, we're going to take a look at Bind, where it was even more bizarre, really, because Sentinels started off 10-2 up first half. It was going well, and then this happened in the second half. So what the hell happened here? Well, this video is going to focus on this part of the map here down towards short, because this is where Sentinels really struggled and couldn't really find an answer to what EG were doing, and it started as early as their bonus round.
Both of these teams want to fight.
Just waiting it out, but they are going to be sending that util now. Flying forwards, take control of showers. Flash as well, along with the Trailblazer, all delayed, but Zekken takes the first kill, first blood in his direction. With Superman down, EG still going to be going for that plant. Derek not pushed back and away.
Okay, so even though it doesn't go perfect here for EG and they actually lose the first fight, this is a really nice exec just in general. Something that NRG could only really dream of. So they're going to send their Rays and their Sky out towards Shower here, right? So we get the early Sky Flash here in Shower. Then you see Jogamo just waiting ever so slightly here. The Viper Wall is already up at this point, and now they're going to come in. We get the Snake Bite on the ground here, right? Because they know that the pressure is going to come from here. This guy, anyone who in Shower, is going to have to run away because the Skydog's going to come in there with Jogamo as well. So Skydog's going to come out this way, just here. You can see it just there. And then we're actually going to send in the Gecko utility down through short as well. So we're getting a nice kind of like pinch on. You see the dog coming through shower there. You see the Tens has to run through the vulnerable. You get the flash here as well. So this guy is potentially even flash. And you see Zekken here just chilling on the kind of top of truck here. You know, he's just chilling, he's tucking in, he actually doesn't get caught by any of the utility, so he does well, and that's how he's able to find the first kill here on Superman as he's running through, as there actually is a Gecko mosh pit that does come onto this area, so there is still something there. The nade comes backside, as you see there as well, so it's a really like big full exec from EG, and it's quite nice. Okay, Zekken does well to get the first kill there, but that's going to give them enough space. They do enough to get the space to plant the spike, right? So, okay, they have lost a player, but, you know, they're still somewhat in the round. And now, though, we're going to see a bit of a... I don't want to call this like a full mistake, because it's not really a mistake here by Tens that much. But you see how this Brim Molly slightly misses, right? So Tens thinks, oh, I've got a timing. Apoth isn't going to expect me. No one on EG is going to expect me to be here because they might think, oh, it's mollied, right? Unfortunately, the rest of the team here for Sentinels are kind of just chilling. They're retreating. In fact, actually, Zekken's going to come for a heal from Sassy in a second, and Tens ends up losing this fight to Apoth. You know, he loses to the Stinger there. So it's you could call it a mistake, right? Because everyone else is kind of chilling and they're just waiting, and now we're in a 4v4. I understand why Tens did it, because he thinks he has a timing. You know, it is what it is, right? But we end up in a 4v4. But what Jogamo is about to do is really cool, right? Because what you're about to get, we won't fully see it, but Sentinels are about to send a nade out towards bench just here. They're going to smoke off shower, and they're going to send a snake bite here as well. And so what Jogamo does is just super cool here. It's a really nice play from him, and you'll see he gets rewarded for it, right? Because he's just going to walk through the vulnerable here, right? And the thing is, because Sentinels have naded bench out here and they've snake bited this, they're like, well, no one can be here, right? And so you see he actually probably should kill Celsius. You can see the kind of end of the paint shells here just on the wall to tell you that they did nade that. He maybe should kill Celsius, but then he still manages to hop up on bench and kill John QT as well, right? So just a really nice play by Jogamo, you know, disrespecting some utility there. Now what's going to happen really, and what wins this round, is ultimately it's just going to come down to Nature turning this Sky Flash just there, and then just winning two fights, because Jogamo actually dies, but you'll see it here. He just kills both of those players with a Spectre, right? So we don't get to see it, unfortunately, but Nature just wins those two fights, and that's really the thing that's going to end up winning them this round, as Zekken, you know, almost wins it with the Sen Classic there. But this was part one of EG going on their big run. Okay, next one, round number 17, and in this one, Sentinels are going to go for an aggressive shower play, right? So they send out the stim beacon just there. We get this flash coming in. It blinds them. Zekken has to run away. But what we're about to get in a second is we're going to get a sky flash through the TP, just coming in there from Sassy. We're also going to get 10 sending out his Dizzy just here through this window. They try and get aggressive, and what wins EG this round is what they do next. These guys down towards short, they realize that, you know, this is coming in, that these guys are being aggressive here. You know, they perhaps think that someone else could be on the site, but they don't care. They realize this is their chance, and they just run it down, right? They just instantly run onto A, right? They just like get there, right? Superman's already in ahead of the Skydog. He's just on, right? And this is what's going to win them this round, because they're going to win this round on time, right? They then Brimble out towards Showers, so these guys can't deny the spike plant, right? So the Brimble comes here, and you might think, oh, they didn't get a kill with this Brimble or whatever, but it lets them get the spike down, and as you'll see, they win this round on time. So literally, like, this level of play from EG, just the fastness of it, right? Not letting Sentinels, you know, kind of mess up the spike plant, it wins them this round completely, basically on its own, because if you look at where John and Sassy are, they're still absolutely miles away, not expecting that EG would have reacted so fast.
Aware that they've lost control of this one, and it could be the thorn in their sides once more. Sentinels, fast now. I'll take this rapidly here, but it's a Thrash going to be used in response. Detainment. It's one of the players, Zelsis. It's his job to try and look this one forward. Second with the Showstopper, holding it with the fuse, and he's just looking for one target to let loose, let rip. No kills to be found. 4v4 though. This flank of Sassy is imperative. He finds it online, lets loose the O, but he will get traded. Nevertheless, tends to fuse, denied from the wingman. Close quarters action occurring. Apov, last one to stand. He's going to try and stop this one himself. Now in a 1v2, Tens just sticking the defuse onto half. The nerve of the guy. Holds it all the way down, gets the kill with the molly as well, and forced him off earlier. I missed that one. That's the reason they got off of it.
So after that round, Sentinels would take a timeout, and they decided their way of fixing this was send Tens and Zekken at the problem. They're going to get more aggressive here, right? They're going to fight this out, and you can see at this point, we actually have the Brim Smoke up here as well, you know, trying to really control this area and trying to be a threat in this area, and in this round, it paid off.
Able to get the punish onto Sassy, who was just jump spotting for that info in a prior round.
Coming out of this timeout for EG, I would be expecting Sen to go for re-clears. So anything where you can fake a bit of pressure on the map and then bait Sen into using a bunch of utility, I think that's what you want to be doing for at the start of the round, but EG are taking it real slow, very cautious.
What's going on here? Tens. Tucked and crouched, Superman could be favored onto the angle there. Great awareness of Tens to realize that could be an option. In fact, he wants to take even more of a fight. Look at this. Smoke's dropped at his back. Turns away to crosshair placement for just a moment, but it's all him right now. It's a one-man army.
But then we came into the next round, and EG adapted to this very well again, right? Where you'll see in this one, okay, Sentinels, they have the same setup, right? We're being aggressive down here towards A again. Tens actually gets tucked into the cubby just here. So what do? They say, okay, well, we'll put some fast pressure on B then. Shall we? Because we know if you're going to be aggressive over here, then, you know, it's going to be more passive over towards B. And then once we start threatening B, eventually these guys are going to have to move, right? Eventually someone's going to have to react to this on B. Someone's going to have to rotate. You know, something's not going to quite go your way. So they put a lot of pressure there. They even put in this Brim Smoke. This is the attacking Brim Smoke just here to, like, fully secure, like, hey, we've got B long control, right? We could come and do a B exec at any moment right now, right? And you don't know exactly when we're going to do it. And causing Sen some issues. So that means that, okay, Zelsis has to rotate across to B here, right? Which then eventually means, like, you know, these two are going to be wondering, well, someone could walk out this way, right? Like, someone could, even if you have heard a lot of stuff going on, like, someone could, and especially if they've taken B long, they might want to TP, so someone might be coming and securing Shower. And so you see, Zekken thinks about it, and he has to start, you know, wondering and checking, like, what's going on. You know, he doesn't see anything, and the Viper stuff comes back up. And so, in fact, what Sentinels then try to do is say, okay, we're in a bit of a weird spot, right? Like, something could be coming on over here. So what they want to do now is they want to go for a Skydog and try and punish. If someone's here, they're going to double TP. You can see both Tens and Zekken kind of, you know, in that call, you know, ready to sort of do that. They then put this smoke down as well. But again, EG are clever. They kind of figure this out, because with the smoke here and the dog coming out of Hookah, which is not something that you often see here, really. You know, Jogma was able to blast back his way out. Sentinels don't see enough players that they can actually punish, and so they kind of have to cancel that plan. But again, I think that this smoke kind of told EG, like, they might have wanted to TP with that dog, right? Like, why else would you put up this smoke at this point in the round? You know, maybe that was the case. And so what you'll see now is they do start to take Hookah, but now Superman, as they're taking Hooker and this pinch, like, becomes a possibility again, he's now walking up past this smoke through the Viper setup, and what you're going to see is Sentinels are going to try and re-aggro on these Hooker players and basically try and go for their plan, which is to pinch on these guys through the TP. But what's going to happen is they end up losing both these fights to Nature, just who I think avoids a flash, and Superman's going to find these two just, you know, idly walking about in no man's land, trying to TP.
Sen, they do have tools to try and stop this one and stunt it if an EG hit starts to come through, and here's one of them. Okay, take the fight to them! Everybody falls! Celsius even committing the orbital strike. I mean, that was what I was talking about when it comes
Okay,
to...
let's skip ahead a bit now to round number 22. And again, what you're going to see in this one is more aggro from Sentinels. This time, Tens has an op. And again, the aggro initially does work.
The post. Tens has an op looking towards short. Can he catch them?
No escaping.
The exec begins, it doesn't look easy. Oh, lands it! Adjusting.
Yeah. Nails Derek to the backboard, and Gorgamo next on the kill feed still. They are pushing them back entirely here. The orbital strike was...
Okay, Sentinels again are in a really good spot. It's a 4v2. You know, they're going to get in position here. You know, John's kind of already rotated across. The spike isn't down just yet. And essentially at this point, EG only have one option, right? They really, I mean, if they want to lose, they can just try and plant the spike. But really, their only one option is they have to try and fight this and win these fights, these two push back site, and try and get some kills. And ideally, that is going to be best served for them whilst these smokes are still up, right? So maybe this is a bit of naivety from Sentinels here, not realizing exactly how on it EG were playing and realizing their win conditions were now, and they weren't, you know, trying to plant the spike and play a 2v4. But EG, they're just going to look like SEAL Team 6 right now.
Throwing EG for a loop. To Nature and Apoth now. They do swing forwards. Flash, re-beacon to the back of the site is excellent. It's imperative now that these players do stay alive. They want a chance into the round. Nature planting. We push back, but he's aware that there could be a flank online.
And there is a flank, but it's come so far. Sassy pushed all the way out of B long, and he's on the opposite side of the map going showers. I think this is quite difficult to read.
For that time given, EG reposition. Double up now into lamps. It's up to Sender, see if they can clear most of this one. Sassy has util to do it, but doesn't choose to use it. He wants a contact, but now he can use it. They know his positioning. Drop down from John QT, second flash. No connection here, but he's still going to lock this one down, so the Sassy at least gets the defuse. No, he's had to get off of it. Doesn't get the half! And another kill! Locked down by EG here.
Okay, now onto the very next round, and Sentinels are going to go for a bit of a different setup. This time they have 3 players stacked towards B, and they're going to try and fake this aggression almost by putting down this smoke just here, and they send out the boombot as well from Zekken. You can see just here, he just sent out his boombot as well at the very start of the round, faking this aggression early on, right? Whilst actually there's a triple stack on B. But EG, they don't panic, right? They're chilling. They send the boombot and the dizzy flash in towards Hooker, and they come and take some of that control, right? Which then means that, okay, now they could be in Hooker. They could be about to exec on us. We don't know. So Zekken actually comes then across towards B instead, right? And now we're going to get the Thresh out here, which actually Tens is stuck in that corner. It actually doesn't see him, but he's about to get spotted by this, right? So Tens gets spotted there now. And so now for EG, they do something very, very clever because they've spotted, obviously, Tens. They know that Sassy's here too, right? The Viper has been on B every single round. So Superman just walks all the way up on A. Right, he just walks all the way up on A. And again, this is very, very clever by EG. Okay, because what they're about to do, they send out the dog here. And this dog kind of looks like, from Sentinel's point of view, like, oh yeah, they spotted us towards B. They're now running back towards A. And the dog is kind of the first layer of this exec clearing stuff out, right, over towards A. But in fact, we've actually already got a player super, super pushed up. And you're going to see that gets them a kill. Because Sentinels think probably that all of EG are like back here. Or maybe they've left someone on B. Maybe someone shower, right? They don't think someone is going to be this pushed up. Which you're going to see gets them the first kill on Celsius. It's a really, really nice play here by EG to, you know, have this player up here. Celsius doesn't expect it, especially again with this smoke that they've done. They actually only had 1 smoke left. So Apoth has smoked this off, right? That's the only smoke they've got. So again, this looks like super, super passive stuff, right? It looks like, oh, we're just all chilling down here. Don't worry about me. We've taken no space. We just wanted to get the spike down and run away. But actually, there's layers to this from EG. And again, Sentinels get confused by it and don't know what to do.
Tangle could have even been contested. Superman, he's done so much for them.
They disguised it really well.
Yeah, being heard now as well, just hot onto the heels right behind them. Sentinels just trying to increase that pace and tempo, a rapid approach into the round, but they're blinded up and flashed up. Nature, fights taken, but eventually traded once more. Jordan nade backs, but he catches himself onto the corner. Still EG They're wrapping up, collecting order kills, they're filling up their...
Okay, and then the final round of the game, Sentinels go back to, you know, the one thing that had maybe found some success for them, which again was trying to go for this kind of more aggressive play towards short, as you'll see in a second. That they give it a couple seconds, they try and see if, you know, someone will just walk out on them. They then put the smoke down, and Tens is going to push up and try and be aggressive. Now, EG, they're just going to start off with this B default, right? Again, pressuring over towards B, and basically, you know, daring Sentinels to, you know, eventually you're going to have to come out of this stance if you want to, you know, just stick there. That's not going to work. But EG then go back to this play that Sentinels go back to the play that, you know, they wanted to do a couple times that hadn't quite worked for them, which was this crunch here, you know, through the teleport. When Jorgmo kind of shows himself with the boombot just here, they're kind of ready to just go for it and send at him, as you're about to see.
Tank crunch. It's being called. Jorgmo. It's got those satchels, but he can't get out alive still. Vulnerability applied. Superman going for the second one, swinging this one. Alpha 10s can evacuate and retreat. At least to safety now with a TP. Door still open, and he finds it. 3 now to stand here for EG. But a molly at their feet, they just can't quite claim that. Kills Elsis. He's getting away with it, not quite. Plant.
So the plan actually doesn't go too bad for Sentinels here. In fact, initially it goes pretty well. You know, as Jorgmo, I mean, he does a decent job there, Jorgmo, of actually getting out. And it's Tens does find him, though. But Super finds one back. But then again, they're able to punish Super with the dog here as well. As EG all take the TP. So again, it's a fast reaction by EG. And this is the thing. I think, you know, they reacted quick enough to this stuff that it gave them advantages, right? Just how quickly they were able to, you know, kind of make decisions as a team and kind of just go for it and trust their call. And really, I think what's going to make this is Zelsis slightly misses this Brim Molly, right? If this Brim Molly is fully here and these guys can't run through it, this may be a different round. This maybe goes in Sentinel's favor, right? And sometimes it is just these tiny little things like this, right? Where you slightly miss a Brim Molly and, you know, EG are able to still run in, and that's the difference, right? Because even though Zelsis does get one, okay, it's still now a 2v3, and EG will manage to close this out.
This is for the map, a continuation of the series. Will Sentinels get their time to try and close this one out in a 2-0 fashion? They're just trying to earn their way to OT.
They have a player advantage, but they have no info about where EG are.
This fight is important. Tens lose it out. And how do Sentinels take it? On the cusp, on the precipice, time running short and running away from them. EG realize it, they recognize it, and they can feel it and sense it out. Sassy, burned to a crisp. And if the molly didn't do it, the button certainly did.